Bitch!
Welcome to the Unimaginary Friendcast. This is live stream episode 303.
Oh,
This is a conversation with your best friends, and we are your best friends.
I am Nathan Vaughn Edmondson.
I'm Erin Marie Betty Davis Jr.
And I'm David Manster, Dat Cam.
And we're so glad you're here. You're hanging out with us. You're our best friends.
Just hang out. We'll get through this together.
Yep. So our episode tonight, and David has prepared for us. We're very intrigued by it. It is the privilege of beauty. So we're going to talk about what it's like to be beautiful in this world, if you have an upper hand or not. And we're going to kind of dig into what beautiful means in this culture or doesn't. Right, David? Does that sum it up?
Sure, okay.
I don't know why we're having this podcast. You could just ask me.
That's in our planning meeting. That's exactly what Nathan said. He's like, oh, then I'll be doing most of the talking, I assume. And we both, Erin and I, like, yeah, okay, you'll do most of the talking. Sure, okay.
Yep. So this is gonna
So
be
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Do you have any news, people?
You guys go first, because I've been hogging it for months.
That's true. I would argue years, actually. Okay, I'll go first. I have been helping to produce a large-scale Halloween event.
Really? I had never heard of that. Go ahead, yeah.
We had our premiere night last Friday, and show was great. It's better than ever. It's getting better. We're doing all these tweaks to make it even better, and I'm really proud of it. And now I'm full speed ahead through October into Halloween.
I know it used to be a haunt event. What is it now? Like, what is it morphed into? Like, is it more interactive and can people stand next to each other, or what's going on now this year?
Certainly more interactive. It is more than just a haunted house. There are 5 haunted houses, but it's more filled as a Halloween festival of epic proportions, because it can take you 2 to 3 hours if you want to even dabble with everything. If you actually want to sit down and enjoy everything, it could take you 3 to 4 hours. We have a ton of different vendors. We have performers, circus performers, aerial artists, dancers, opera singers, tap dancers, ballet dancers. It's a very, very unique event, I think.
That's so cool.
Sounds like a straight old variety show.
Hey, I love my variety shows, just like I like my variety podcasts.
Yes, David, do you have a question?
Yeah. So are there a lot of food vendors like come with like trucks and stuff?
We have more. They don't have trucks, but they have tents or, they have little units.
So the most important question is, do you get free food every night?
I don't get free food. Our vendors, they are outside contractors, so...
Do you get free
yeah.
candy every night?
Lots of free candy.
Free candy, but the vendors don't come bring you food?
No, they don't.
That's one thing that's better about LA than other cities. In LA, that always happens. That is always a thing that happens. Always. Always. All right, go ahead.
Do you have free Necco wafers?
No, I don't. I have to pay for those.
I still have to taste a Necco wafer.
We bought an extra pack this week, actually.
You know why?
Why?
Well, I'll tell you why we
Great
bought
question.
them. I'll tell you why we bought them. Because we were preparing for my news, which is the fact that we're sitting in the lap of Ian currently.
Yes, we are not in our East Coast studio, because you might recognize that we don't have a boat on the wall in our East Coast studio.
No, we don't.
But we have a boat on the wall here, and
We do.
we are in one of the Carolinas, bracing for Ian, who's coming tonight and early tomorrow morning.
So and every emergency, every time you hear about emergency, you hear about people rushing to get Necco wafers for sure.
Exactly. Stock up, David.
So, wow, I'm glad you guys have them.
We need a 3-week supply of them just in case the power goes out.
And they're also good for writing like messages, because they're basically chalk, so you can write messages
To the helicopters.
like SOS and stuff. And
I thought
to sop up water.
Yeah, they're like those miracle sponges that they get some water and they blow up.
that's what I thought. You'd throw them at Ian and like soak up the storm, and it makes it like, wow, that's awesome. So you guys are set and ready.
Exactly. What's going on with you?
Nice. Well, my news is I knocked something off my bucket list. I finally did something I've been wanting to do forever. I went and saw the Red Hot Chili Peppers. No, I didn't, and that's not on my bucket list. Gotcha.
On our old news.
No, my news is boring. Whatever. It's just like some of my smutty stories came out, and people are really into them. Whatever. So if you're into smut, just I guess you can message us on Unimaginary Friend. You can go to davidmonster.com and root around and whatever. Go ahead, yeah.
The games were released. The updated games or the new games were released.
Or it's 3 side stories that go with the game.
Okay, so 3 side stories have been released.
And people are into them. People have to calm down. Listen, I know you guys don't have fans like I have fans, but it takes me months to write these things, and people need to calm down a little bit because they read them in one night, and it's just like, and then they're like, "Where's more? We need more," and it's just like, you got to give it a minute, bro. And it's awesome. It is so awesome that they do that. I am so grateful, but I'm just one person. I need a little bit of a break. But I'm not. I'm back at it, and they're going to be more. Go ahead, yeah.
You need some AI assistance, some artificial intelligence helping you write the stories.
100%. Huh?
Where can people find them?
It's on heartschoice.com, but you can go to davidmonster.com, and there's links from there. And if you can't find them, you can message us at Unimaginary Friend or davidmonster.com or whatever.
Do you have to buy the whole story, or can you buy the side stories separately?
Yeah, there's 2 sets. There's 2 different sets of side stories of 3, so you can buy 3 and 3. You can buy 3 and 3 separately. But you'd be stupid you might as well just buy them all because you're going to read them all and you're going to go crazy and you're going to need them. People like freak out. So, yeah.
Good point.
Thank you. I know, really.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Oh, God, I'm not even doing my job. Sorry, go ahead. I forgot to do
breaking news graphic.
I forgot to do breaking news. So if you're watching, there's breaking news. And now
we have to restart. We have to start everything again.
Our gold star for the 303rd episode is 2. And I don't know, we don't often give them to corporations, but this week that we're giving it to McDonald's.
Wait a minute.
McDonald's.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, apparently it was brought to my attention that they have come out with adult-size Happy Meals where you still get a toy.
Adult-size Happy, finally, because adults have been eating them forever. And the only reason the corporation got it is because nothing else good happened this week.
That's probably true. I didn't take it too
probably
deep,
true.
We went on vacation. That's pretty good.
As an adult, can you still buy a children's Happy Meal, or do they just say like,
no?
Or you automatically get the adult?
No, along with abortion, that is banned, and you will go to prison.
Okay, good to know.
I know. When you're on your way to your next abortion, Nathan, don't try to get a kid-sized Happy Meal.
No way. Well, think of it. Are they the same price? They're probably not the same price, huh?
What, an abortion and a Happy Meal?
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
No, the adult Happy Meals are a little more expensive than the kids.
An adult Happy Meal and a children's abortion. I mean, a children's Happy Meal.
You guys.
I'm sorry.
Right now.
That's terrible. That's just awful.
It's probably $1 more for the children or the adult Happy Meal, right?
They're more. Yeah, they're more expensive because they're bigger. Like there's a Big Mac in there instead of a little hamburger.
That's cool.
Is it just fries and a burger?
A drink and then a toy.
But do you
get
an apple pie? Because that's what I want.
Oh, there you go. Can I ask you if it's an adult toy? Like if it's like a second toy?
It looks just like, I sent you guys a picture. It looks just, they're coming out with, I don't know if you guys remember the old McDonald's characters like the Grimace and Mayor McCheese and all that.
Yeah.
Well, it's those toys, but they look like kids' toys, but it's for adults. Because the adults, what?
Do they vibrate?
Yes, they vibrate, and they're the right shape.
Now, here's the real observation. They're going to become collector's items. You know those are going to.
Oh, totally. Well, all Happy Meal toys are collector's items because adults buy them more than kids do, anyways. Because kids just wreck them.
I wonder what the most sought after Happy Meal toy is. Like the most expensive, of all time.
I don't know that, but because you guys know, I used to have a Happy Meal collection. I had thousands of them.
Really?
That I started collecting in the 80s through the 90s. Yeah, you guys didn't know that?
No.
I have about 500 still in the garage. But at the time, the most sought after, I had the whole thing. I had the whole collection of Jetson toys. Like they each had their own little car, and I had all those. And then because I had a store, and this little girl, this little bitch came in and stole one.
Wow. Have you looked online to see how much they're worth?
Yeah, they're worth anywhere from, like, I've sold some of them. Like some of the sets are worth like $20, some are worth $50, some of the sets are worth like $5. So it's all different prices now.
All right. It's still going.
It's still going.
It's still going.
I do want to point out that we have a live studio audience.
Yeah, we do.
So you might be phoning a friend if we have certain questions or insights from our live audience.
If we need help with it. Sure.
Yes.
Cool. Because I have questions, so maybe the studio audience can help you with questions today.
But everything's being timed.
Yeah. So get to it, David.
Yes.
All right.
Privilege of beauty. I'm so intrigued by what you have to say about this.
The privilege of beauty. All I have is the privilege of beauty. Let Nathan talk. All right, go ahead, Nathan.
All right. Everybody better sit down.
Okay, what is beauty privilege? What is it, guys?
People are nicer to you if you look a certain way and give you more stuff.
Basically, sure. Yeah, okay. Do you have anything to add to that, Nathan, or is that about right?
Well, from my personal experience, that's exactly right.
And we're actually kind of not kidding around, because I worked with Nathan at a job, and he was treated differently by many different people, men and women, and they even called him Hot Nate at this particular job. So
No, they didn't.
They did, I swear to God.
Do you have
yeah, they did. I told you at the time. Well, I told you at the time. We can call one right now.
Who?
The first time I heard it was this guy Peter in the locker room said, "Where's Hot Nate today?" Because we used to drive in together. And I said, "Excuse me, who? Where's who today?" And then another person said, "Yeah, where's Hot Nate today?" And I said, "Who?" All right, so why did I want to do this topic? I'm just going to give a quick statement. I find beauty. I love beauty, and I love beautiful people. And there's a certain type of beautiful woman I like, and I like the aesthetics of it and everything. But like Aaron, nobody else except for Aaron. But beautiful people, especially in this day and age, piss me off because I feel like they're so unacquainted with the real world. Like they really don't ever experience the real world ever until they lose their looks, and then they get pissed off and they become very entitled and stuff. And there's this weird thing is that beauty is a thing where it's thought of as like trivial, and we're not supposed to aspire to it. And it's fleeting and everything, but it runs everything. Beauty is about everything on this planet.
I was going to say, it seems to me that that's one of the most high on the list of things that people are programmed to aspire to.
No, totally. But then they're always criticized. There's always a criticism the triviality of it and things. And that's the number one, even with influencers, that's the number one criticism is like, oh, like, nye, 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 nye. So I just wanted to delve into this to kind of pick it apart and give my 2 cents and everything. So we're going to go through that, and then I'm going to do another summation at the end.
Okay.
Okay. Are you guys ready? Are you guys have your seatbelts on?
We're going to put our lipstick on.
Okay. The first thing we're going to do, you guys, whichever one of you wants to go first, describe yourself. Describe your looks.
Beautiful.
Are you describing yourself?
No, I'm describing you.
No, describe yourself.
Me? Okay. Tall, athletic, more masculine than feminine sometimes. This is just like my physical characteristics.
Yeah, and describe your sexiness and your attractiveness. Describe it all.
I don't know how to describe that.
It's interesting, huh? But do it.
Low level sexy. But
Low. How about low key sexy?
No, that's different. I don't wear like high heels or mini skirts or anything revealing. I don't really have too many curves to accentuate, so I
Are you like
Aaron plain and tall.
Athleta chic?
See, we already hit a gold mine. Because that's interesting that I asked you to describe your sexiness, and you go, well, I'm not really sexy because I don't wear high heels and miniskirts. So is that the only way a woman can be sexy?
Yeah.
Those are very common standards.
But for you, is that the only way a woman can be sexy?
Like, do I think other women are sexy if they wear high heels?
No, if they is the only way a woman can be sexy if she wears high heels and miniskirts.
Yes.
No, that's not my only way.
Okay, but it's interesting that you stated that. Do you see what I'm saying, right?
Stereotype.
I've
It's
had
the
about
stereotype.
7 seconds to think about how to describe sexy.
Yeah. But it's interesting because we don't sit around like normal people. You got to be a douchebag to sit around and talk about your sexuality and your attractiveness.
Yeah,
Have you ever done that before? Have you ever talked about your sexiness and your attractiveness in your whole life?
Sexiness?
Yeah.
Oh, all the time.
Especially to your daughter. All right, Nathan, it's your turn. Describe yourself, and don't forget about the sexiness and the attractivenesses.
A perfect 10 with Antonio Banderas level lava melting hotness and bedroom eyes and dad bod.
So 10s across the board, just 10s across the board.
Yep.
David,
all right, cool.
You.
David?
Well, right now, if you look at me right now, don't I kind of look like a talking baked potato? It's funny because in my mind, I know that you guys have had this at one time or another. In my mind, there's sometimes when I'm walking, I'm doing stuff, I'm out and about, and I think, oh, I've got it. Like, I've got it. Oh, hell yeah. But I don't think I do have it because my physical appearance has never mattered to anyone. So I'm somewhere in the region of the void. Like, nobody cares. Nobody cares what I look like either way. My appearance has never mattered to anyone ever. What?
When you were slaying it in high school with all the cheerleaders.
Yeah, apparently you.
Yeah, apparently you dated all the cheerleaders.
I didn't date them. They were give me a lot of. Oh, I made out with like most of them, but I made out with a bunch of them. But no, but that's not. It doesn't have anything. You don't understand. When it comes to women, it has nothing to do with attractiveness. With women, it has to do with being nice to them and then being indifferent to them, and then they lose their damn shit. I'm kind to them, and then I go talk to someone else and don't give them any attention. With teenage girls, they fucking want attention almost as much as gay men. So that's what it was all about. I was their friend, and then I'd ignore them. Not on purpose, but just because I was doing shit. But all the guys would be sniffing up their skirts, so they'd be like, stop. Ooh, God, this guy's so into me. That's what it was all about.
That's accurate, but I trust that was your experience.
Wait, you don't think that that's accurate with teenage girls? that they have boys coming around them that they're like, oh my God, stop. And then if a certain boy gives them attention and then takes it away, you don't think that they run after that?
I think maybe some people do and some people don't.
Oh, not every single teenage girl, but the hot ones, especially go ahead. Yeah.
I was going to say that's a very standard tactic that they recommend in those like how to pick up chicks books.
Really?
Oh yeah. Like,
women don't do that.
Well,
I don't know about
you're
teenage
supposed
girls,
to like give attention and then like either ignore them or insult.
Totally, the nag. But it's also hot chicks. Hot chicks they need attention bad. Anyway. So that's why I wanted to do this. All right, so we
and we're gonna wrap up now.
We're gonna wrap up. Now I have a couple of interesting quotes about beauty and the privilege of beauty. Okay. Do you guys know who Leo Tolstoy is?
Was he a supermodel in the 1940s?
He was a supermodel in the 1940s. You guys don't know who Leo Tolstoy is? Tolstoy.
Yeah,
you guys know
supermodel. He was totally a supermodel.
All right. Tolstoy is one of the most famous authors that ever lived. What? He wrote War and Peace. Like he wrote considered some of the most classic novels of all time. Well, his quote is, and grant you, he lived from 1828 to 1910. So sometime before 1910, he said, "It is amazing how complete the delusion that beauty is goodness." And that's over 100 years ago. That could have been almost 200 years ago that he said that.
I mean, it's been true since the beginning of time.
Sure, yeah.
Well, I guess we're gonna find out if you guys shut up for 2 seconds. There's millions of quotes, but I just found the ones that are most interesting. I'm sure that you guys have no idea who Charlotte Rampling is, right?
And she's an actress.
Yeah.
Yes. And one person in your studio audience can attest to the fact that she was considered one of the beauties of the 60s. She was very beautiful at one time.
Was.
Is there agreement in the studio audience?
No, we know.
No, our audience says yes.
Members. Whoa!
Woo!
Yeah, so that's Charlotte Rampling. She was thought of one of the beauties of the 60s.
A pointy boob.
I think that's a broad design.
Yeah. But she's very thin. I mean, yeah, that was the broad at the time, and she was very thin. Well, this is what she said. She said, what beauty brings is huge. It brings great privilege, great power, and potential to do many things. If you are beautiful, doors open to you. People smile at you. You are accepted in places where others are not. So the relationship that people have with beauty, in a sense, is almost deforming. Mm-hmm. And she was very celebrated. She's an English actress, and she was very celebrated here and there. And I think that's one of the best, like someone owning it, because there's so many quotes from people being like, whatever, just be yourself. And it's like, no, she like lays it on the line, like, because she was really, she met everyone. She met everyone in the world at the time. Go ahead.
I think I'm seeing the big twist here, David, is that you're going to say that we need to give beautiful people a lot of empathy and understanding, right?
Hold on to your hats, because that's not what I'm going to say. I'll just spoiler alert, that is not what I'm going to say. We have a quote here from someone.
I know it sounds cliche, but beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and pretty is as pretty does.
A little bit. I agree with that a little bit, but not entirely. But go ahead, yeah?
Generalized standards of beauty, but it changes from culture to culture, and it's changed over time. And I know that I don't always agree. David, you and I often disagree on what we think is beautiful and who we think
100%. But we can both agree that Charlotte Rampling is pretty. We see her and be like, oh my God, that girl's pretty. Well, she is one of those women that wanted to age gracefully and not get plastic surgery or anything. Do you guys want to see her now?
Yes.
Oh, no. Yeah, we have yes from the audience. Oh, she's still beautiful. She looks fine. She looks like
You mean she looks fine?
She will turn no heads. If you are listening and you don't know what Charlotte Rampling looks like old, Google her. She will turn no heads. Like she
I think that's true.
Well, I mean, that's fine. But I mean, there's not a magic. She doesn't have magic anymore. I'm sorry. There's a magic that comes with beauty.
I feel
What?
She's not young anymore.
Exactly. That's the point of this whole thing. That's the point. Is when you are not young anymore, you are not worth anything. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, sorta. All right. Now, well, we're gonna bring it more modern to modern day and Halle Berry, and we're gonna see the difference of someone who is kind of smart and kind of owns it to someone who, let's just say, Halle Berry is very beautiful. I don't think Halle Berry has yet to live in the real world at any point. Go ahead, what?
When we chose the most beautiful person in the world and it was Halle Berry, I just want to bring that up.
Yeah, totally.
Collectively?
Yes.
Okay. I have a story about Halle Berry, by the way.
Oh, do you want to tell it now or after the quote?
After the quote.
Okay, this is what she says. And granted, she's probably a great person and she probably is smart, but she just has not lived in the real world. This is what she says. Let me tell you something. Being thought of as a beautiful woman has spared me nothing in life. No heartache, no trouble. Love has been difficult. Beauty is essentially meaningless and it is always transitory.
I agree that
Fucking listen. Yeah, what?
It's transitory. We've proven that with our last victim.
Well, it hasn't left her yet. If you see Halle Berry, it hasn't left her yet. But what she doesn't realize is yes, yeah, of course we know that you're having the heartaches everyone else has. But bitch, your beauty made you famous. Your beauty got you in the door. Your beauty got you those parts. She's a good actress. I'd even say she's a very good actress. But if she didn't have her beauty, would she be thought of as that great? Like, I mean, come on, would she have been given all the parts and the celebration and everything? I really don't think so. And she has said, which I agree with, she has said being black has held her back. She would have had a bigger career as a white woman. But that I do agree that that's true. But I don't think she realizes that she has a better career than 99% of all white women on the planet. So it's like, but it just shows you that, like, she's like, I still have it the same as you guys. It's like, no, bitch. Like, people think you're amazing. People have celebrated you. People have flown you all over the world because of your beauty, not because of anything else.
Well, yes.
I mean, she has some talent to back it up, but would she be as celebrated? Would she be as celebrated if she was not beautiful? If she was plain or even ugly?
Well, she wouldn't have been hired in the parts that she was hired in. So, like, she was the female lead, like the heart, like the love interest.
Yeah.
And all that. So Hollywood is going to put a certain standard on that, or has put a certain standard on it, and she represented that. So she just couldn't be in those same parts, you know?
Totally.
I'm trying to think of who was the woman in. I'm trying to think of an actress who definitely doesn't, like, a counter character or like a character actor. What's her name? She was in that movie the Stephen King film where she smashed his feet, smashed his legs.
Oh yeah, Kathy Bates. Oh my God, that's so rude that you're considering her the standard of ugly. But go ahead, yeah.
Not a standard of ugly, but someone who isn't being cast in like the heartthrob lead role.
Yeah.
So, but she had a big career as well, you know.
Totally.
Different than Halle Berry's career, obviously.
And I think that Meryl Streep, who is often referred to as the greatest actress, she was never a great beauty, and she has had a great career. I don't know that I'd put Halle Berry in the same league as her talent-wise, but maybe if she was ugly, she'd be more talented. Maybe, who knows?
So I my Halle Berry story now.
But I want to go on to a man now to show that men can be as clueless. Huh?
Can I give my Halle Berry story?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just give the facts. I'll just say what happened, not my judgment of what happened. So it's catering a premiere for her TV show that came out maybe 5 years ago. She had a TV show that was maybe a season or two. She was the lead, and they were having a dinner and screening of the first pilot episode for like industry people and media underneath the space shuttle at the Science Center in LA.
Oh, wow.
So there's dinner and everyone's there, and it's like a huge event. And mind you, like this place is like thousands of dollars an hour, right? Probably like $10,000 an hour, something ridiculous, right? They have dinner. She didn't show up for dinner. She didn't come for dinner. And then the screening was supposed to start at say 8 p.m. We waited for almost an hour for her to show up for the screening. Wow. So they held the screening. And then
why?
I don't know. She was late.
But you don't need to be there for your screening.
Well, she was probably contractually obligated to be there, would be my guess.
For the Q&A though, right?
I don't even know if they had a Q&A. I don't recall. And then when she came in with an entourage of like 12 people, and they all just came like sweeping in, and they all had like this attitude of like they all had their sunglasses on and they wouldn't look at anyone, and then they all just like sat down and didn't talk to anybody, and then they showed the screening. So I don't know if that ties into your assessment of Halle Berry and her beauty.
I think that she's an insecure beauty. That's what I get, the sense I get from her. Oh wait, we have something who.
That's enough, David.
Well, we're moving on to men now, Chris. So here we go. Are you ready? We're moving into the clueless modern man. Are you guys ready?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna say it, and well, I don't think you guys can guess it, so it doesn't matter.
Nathan Von Edmondson.
This is what Nathan Von Edmondson said. Well, I'll say the quote, and if you guys can't guess it, I'll tell you. But this is what this guy says. He says, "Just be yourself, and good things come to you." And then he goes on to say, "Just be comfortable with who you are."
Tom Cruise.
No, this is someone really good looking, dumbass. No, this is Chris Pratt. And Chris Pratt, this is kind of what, like, just the cluelessness of attractiveness just drives me crazy with people like this guy. Because
well, the alternative is if you're not attractive and you're trying to be, isn't that worse than just owning, like having the confidence of being authentic to, hey, you're not Chris Pratt, but you're just gonna be really confident and just own who you are. Like I feel like that is good advice, but maybe not coming from him.
But is he super hot? Chris Pratt?
No. Well, he's not super hot, but there's something very attractive about him, and he attracts people. Because I'll tell you why. We have proof of it in a minute. But it's just such a ridiculous quote because he's saying like, yeah, like just be yourself and good things come to you. No, good things have come to you because people are attracted to you for some reason. And this is why. This is where we can all, it all adds up. He says, my first big break was when I met a director and got to talking with her, and she happened to be casting this movie that she had written. That was 10 years ago. She flew me to Hollywood, and I made $700 on that film. Okay. Now, if you're an actor, sometimes you take meetings with directors and stuff. Do you know where he was and what he was doing when he met that director and got that part?
Waiter, he was waiting on her.
He was being a waiter in Hawaii, and she flew him. She's like, you know what? So it's like, they don't get it. Like, and then he's going on to say, just be yourself and good things happen. You just be authentically yourself. No, bitch. It's because you live in a different world. That is the privilege of beauty, and they don't understand it. And I want Halle Berry and Chris Pratt and all these other people to sit down and be in a classroom, and I want them uglified, and I want them to hit on someone or something and have the person put their hand in their face and be like, no, like they don't get it. They don't get that it has nothing to do with their intelligence or their talent or anything else. It's simply their attractiveness that they have nothing to do with.
So aren't there a lot of things that people have, like you have no control over?
Yes, but
one would argue that any quality you have no control over.
not any quality, but most physical qualities and
even like being born into wealth, or being born into intelligence, or being born
100%.
being born into having a strong and hard work ethic. All these things that, just some people have and some people don't.
Well, not necessarily a strong work ethic, because you can change that. But I agree with you on the other things. Yeah. But, okay, we're going to get to our very final quote is going to answer all that shit. All of it. And why I'm so pissed off.
Why are you pissed?
Well, we're going to talk about now the quintessence of good-lookingness and stuff, and what makes a person privileged good-lookingness wise. Because I read through, and a lot of these studies, they say confidence, like human beings are attracted to confidence.
That's true.
That is true.
100%, and confidence is great, but I believe, and they say charisma, but charisma is a different thing. Like confidence, this is what's interesting, is confidence usually comes from people who are good looking or attractive, and charisma usually comes from people with character. And I believe it's because confidence comes from positive reinforcement. So yeah, good looking people are very confident because they've been reinforced their whole life. It's not as easy, and you can build on your own confidence and you can develop your own confidence, but it's not as easy to build confidence when no one reinforces it. If you have had a life where no one reinforces anything good about you, like you're a good looking person, and it's, reinforced from the time you're born all the way up. Hi, Aunt Josie. You better get into it, Josie, because we need your. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I think that's true. But there are other qualities that people can reinforce that make you confident.
Yeah.
I know people in my life that are not attractive but are super, super smart and are the most confident, arrogant people I knew. And not to say that made them more or less attractive, but
yeah,
have a lot of confidence.
Wait, did you say confident and arrogant?
Yeah, the particular person I'm talking about, yes.
Because I believe that confidence and arrogance are two different things. Like confidence is you're assured about your own abilities, and arrogance comes from insecurity. That's what I believe.
This is a good point, that there are attractive people that are their worst critics, have terrible insecurities and low confidence.
100%. 100%. And I believe those people are better than the other people who are good looking. Like if you don't have any confidence and you're insecure about your looks, you're a good person. If you're very good looking, you have confidence and you're self-assured, you're a horrible human being. I just want some gratitude. I just want someone to shake Chris Pratt and say, have some fucking gratitude, dude. There are so many people who are authentically themselves. There are so many people who are authentically talented and amazing, and we've all seen them, and they don't get 2 steps in Hollywood because they're not attractive. There's something about them.
Yeah, is a beast.
Yeah, most people, no matter what, don't get anything in Hollywood.
Yeah, 100%. And most people aren't fucking waiters or standing on the street corner somewhere and get offered a part in a movie and flown into Hollywood. Just be yourself and good things happen. That's what I'm saying. They don't get it.
You don't think he has any gratitude?
I went through a lot of his quotes and he didn't seem to have a lot of gratitude.
I think that's presumptuous.
Yeah, he might have, but in these quotes and these things, he's just like trying to tell people, like he's kind of like coming on as like, oh, I'm trying to give you tips on how to succeed. This is how I did it, and it's like, shut up, dude. Just shut the fuck up.
I have to agree with you that I do hate hearing already successful people tell you how to be successful.
Yeah.
I know that sounds weird, but I have a hard time. And it depends on the person and what they're talking about, but I often have a hard time. Like, just don't give up. Just keep doing it. Just look what happened to me. It's like, oh no.
I agree. Well, I agree that the only way to success is tenacity. The only way is just keep doing it until it happens. Because nothing else guarantees success. But you're right. Like, you don't necessarily get success, but you get something.
Not though. Like, I feel like people guarantee it if you just keep doing it for long enough.
No, it's absolutely not guaranteed. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, there's no guarantees. There are no guarantees.
But I have found that. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Zero guarantees. However, I think we're in that realm where we're grasping for like an ultimate universal to explain like all the nuances of it. But like this could work or this could work. You know, there are different things that happen that can assure quote success.
Even Hollywood about attraction.
Yes, CB actor, it's true. Cinema is a visual medium, and it is good to have very attractive people. And I'm not saying don't hire attractive people, because I prefer that. I like to look at good-looking people, and there are movies. In fact, have you guys seen Love and Thunder? Thor's Love and Thunder?
Oh no.
It's not a good movie. It's really not, and this is proof that it's not a good movie. It's because fucking Christian Bale has this fucking wart right next to his eye the whole fucking movie, and I'm just going, why doesn't he get that fucking removed? And it's true. Like, I want to see good-looking people and I want to see attractive people. And it's nice to see good-looking, attractive people. But I want them to know, I want them to be grateful, and I want them to be taught that they're not living in the real world. That's the only thing I want.
But if they're imperfect, they better get that fixed immediately.
Dude, there's a wart next to his eye. He can afford to get it taken out. It's right here. The whole time, every time he's talking, he's looking at the camera, and I'm like, I'm looking at your wart, dude. You cannot think that wart looks good. You cannot, and you can't see. You can every time he looks anywhere, he can see the wart because it's
not a wart.
What is it?
He's had it his entire life.
Get rid of it! It's stupid. It's stupid, and he's stupid. I never want to see Christian Bale in anything ever again. He's fucking stupid.
So far, your argument has been attractive people need to get over themselves and be grateful and be made ugly, and they better make themselves as beautiful as possible, or else.
I never said be ugly. I never said be ugly.
It should be ugly so they can get some gratitude.
But here's the difference. There's this like, is there wart pride or something like that? Like, oh my God, David, you're gonna get canceled because you're talking about Christian Bale's wart in a negative aspect. It's stupid. It is fucking stupid. All right, here we go. Someone's gonna say something else now to me. What's this? See, that's enough, David. Go ahead. Anybody defend his fucking wart. Defend it.
I'll defend
it. Why? It's stupid, and he's stupid. Christian Bale is over. I have hereby canceled him. All right, now we're going to go back to topic. A study revealed, you guys want to hear this? They went through thousands of women, and they asked them, and they polled them, and it was revealed that women are less likely to demand protection if they're very attracted to a man.
What?
Women, when having sex with a man, are less likely to demand protection when having sex with him. Oh, and go ahead, yeah.
Like higher security?
And I believe that happens in the gay community too. Like, if a guy's hot, a guy's not, no guy's asking for protection, which that gives me the heebie-jeebies right there. But that shows you huge like beauty privilege right there.
Right there, it just links it to the fact that beauty is directly tied to reproduction.
Oh yeah, 100%. But
the things that beauty represents, which is like health, wealth, success, and so they're like, I guess I'll reproduce.
But it also seems to be tied to venereal diseases too. Okay, another study. I found this crazy, just so crazy. Another study said that employers think of attractive women as having less capability of performing traditionally masculine tasks than unattractive women.
Yeah,
I think that's certainly
very true.
Which is bizarre, but
so crying wart debacle.
Tears in her eyes.
He should be arrested and beaten just within an inch of his life. All right. On a totally different subject, do you guys want to start a band and tour this coming year, and we call it The Unattractive Women?
No.
You don't want to be in a band called The Unattractive Women?
I would be in a band called Discharge.
Well, there already is a band, Discharge.
Yeah, it was my band. It was my first band.
Well, before your band, there was a punk band in the 80s called Discharge.
How convenient.
Did you say you don't believe me? Is that what you said?
But how convenient.
Hooligan Mama says, David, oh my God, dying. What are you dying about, Auntie Josie? Okay. The same study said that we hear this all the time, that attractive people do much better in job interviews and most likely land the job over unattractive people. We already know that. That's not a real shocker there, is it? Is that a shocker to anybody?
No.
I've gotten every job I've ever applied for.
And you guys were right. You have gotten every job you applied for. Aristotle was one of the first people to comment on beauty privilege. Do you know when Aristotle lived?
Where he lived?
Do you know what? No. Do you know Do you know when he lived? Do you know the dates when he lived?
No, not anymore.
Like 700 BC.
Around there, yeah. So that's good. So that was almost 3,000 years ago. So 3,000 years ago, Aristotle said, personal beauty is a greater recommendation than any letter of reference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that is interesting on its own. But I was thinking about this, like, wow, letter of reference. Like, I think that if we went back in time to that time when we could speak that language, I don't think that interpersonal activities would be that much different. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Aristotle's talking about a letter of reference. Isn't that interesting? 3,000 years ago?
Yeah.
But anyways, oh, go ahead, yeah.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. Now, here's a shocker. You guys ready for a total shock? You guys ready to be knocked out of your chairs? Dr. David Buss, an evolutionary psychologist, carried out a study of over 10,000 people from 37 different companies and found that a woman's looks ended up being the #1 thing on a man's list for her desirability.
Yeah, obviously.
Is that a shocker? He spent millions of dollars. But
That's kind of funny.
But go ahead. What did you say, Aaron?
That's just funny.
But on its face, I think that everybody might, because I misunderstood it or misinterpreted it first. But it goes on to say it's not necessarily beauty as everyone thinks. It's a woman's looks that pertains to that man. So it's not the same woman. It's a woman's looks and how, red hair or big noses or whatever. Da 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 ba 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 sha ta 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 ta. But although everyone would choose Halle Berry if given the opportunity.
Except for
right. Wait, what?
Except for racists.
Racists. What would they choose? What would a racist choose?
Somebody the same as them.
I don't know. I think a lot of racists would choose a black woman if no one knew about it. I think that's an interesting dynamic.
That's possible.
Okay. In the Torah and the Bible, where do they say that beauty comes from?
Jesus.
The heart?
No, they say physical beauty is a gift from God. Okay. So even then they knew it was important.
Well, now you're taking the word of the Torah and the Bible, finally?
I'm taking the word of the Torah and the Bible. Okay, Nathan, earlier you would make a statement, and I forgot what it was, but I said that it would be answered here. Okay, you guys ready?
Okay.
I don't remember.
Are you guys ready for this final question? And listeners, we want you to answer too. I'm going to ask a question, we're going to talk a little bit, and then we're going to answer it to give the listeners a chance to answer it too. Okay, you guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
What separates privilege from entitlement? Don't answer it yet. We're going to talk. We're going to discuss amongst ourselves.
Okay.
Anyways, so go ahead. Yeah, what?
Are we allowed to answer or?
Not yet. Let's give the listeners a moment to process. I want to wrap it up. I want to wrap up the thing and give you guys an opportunity to talk about beauty and privilege of beauty. I'm sure that you guys are as pissed off as I am with beautiful people who are entitled. correct?
Correct.
Yeah, anyone who's entitled it's just not a wonderful quality, is it?
Is that the biggest conflict in your relationship? Is Nathan's privilege of beauty?
No, my entitlement.
Or your entitlement of being beautiful?
Yeah, it's just nonstop.
Really? How does it manifest itself?
But I wanted my daughter to be beautiful, so I did it for the evolution of the species.
Really? Wait, did you get her boob job yet?
Scheduled. It's scheduled. It's scheduled for her 18th birthday.
Okay, good. You guys are good parents. Let's hope she stays blonde, though. Right?
Well, she'll probably eventually be gray.
Did you get her? Are you guys both gray?
Nah, we are. We're getting there.
Well, we don't. Would you say we have blonde hair now? We don't really have blonde hair. We have brown hair, right?
Well, Aaron had blonde hair. I don't know what happened to it.
Blonde, dirty, grimy hair.
Dirty blonde hair. Did you guys get her training high heels yet?
She just walks around on her tippy toes. She's training herself.
she's ready. All right, do you guys want to? And none of the listeners care about our podcast or our question.
It's too complicated.
So, what was the difference between privilege and entitlement?
Yeah, do you guys want to answer it?
Aaron does.
Go ahead, Aaron.
I feel like, I don't know if this is true, but I feel like privilege is kind of the way the world treats you, and entitlement is the opposite way. So it's how you view the world. You're better than.
That's interesting. Auntie Josie says, would the difference be between what someone believes about themselves versus what is reality? And that's kind of what you said. So you guys are of one mind. Nathan, Nathan's looking it up in a book.
Yeah, we have books here.
All right. Privilege is having or enjoying one or more privileges. What was the other word?
and entitlement. And CB Actor Traveler says it's too complicated and highly objective. There is an answer, you guys. I have the answer.
Entitlement is a government program providing benefits to members of a specified group.
Well said.
Awesome. So Nathan, you want to take a shot at the answer? Aaron, I think Aaron's answer is right. It's not the answer I have.
Entitlement is exactly what Aaron said. No, entitlement, there's like the expectation of privilege, right?
Sure, yeah. I think that's true too. Okay, the answer I have is just one word.
What? Beauty.
What do we wish entitled people were? What do we wish? What do we wish that they would show instead of entitlement?
Humbleness.
No. The difference between privilege and entitlement is gratitude.
Actually, our live studio audience got it right.
Oh, she said that? Did she yell out gratitude?
Yes.
Gratitude!
But I feel like privileged people are often not grateful.
Well, no, you're afforded the privilege. So those people would not be privileged, they'd be entitled. So you are a privileged person by simply being gifted that thing. And then you behave entitled if you are not grateful.
So if you are beautiful out there, learn how to be grateful, and then David won't hate you. Unless you have a wart.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter how grateful you are. Even if you're grateful for that wart.
I'm gonna kick him right in the eye. He is such an ass faggot.
He's constantly being kicked in the eye.
He should be in the eye. There's something wrong with that idiot. Listen, Hooligan Mama says, ooh, I love gratitude. And I forgot, Hooligan Mama is one of those privileged beauty bitches. She's, and I'll tell you why. I'm going to tell you a little story, and I hope she doesn't get mad that I'm putting her life out there. But when we were in high school, she was a little cheerleader bitch. And like on game day, she'd wear the little skirt and run around and be a mean girl. Well, one night after the big game, she went out with her friends to a party in Burbank, and in her little skirt, and she's running around the party, and this guy came up to her and he's like, "Hi, my name's Sean. What's yours?" And she's like, "It's Aunt Josie. Whatever. Like, get over it. I'm beautiful, and you're not. Whatever." And then she was just whatever to him, like, because she was a mean girl. She was a pretty privileged mean girl. Jump forward, I think it was 15 years. She meets this guy, and she's talking to him, and he's super nice. And she's like, "Wow, this guy's really cool. I really like this guy." And then they go on a date, and he's like, I don't know if you remember me, but I remember you. There was a party about 15 years ago, and you were there. And I was like, "You were the prettiest girl there, and I wanted to talk to you, but you were a little bitch. You thought you were all that." And today they're married.
Aww.
So she gave up. She gave up a little bit of her privilege, her mean girl attitude, and she got the guy, and she loves him.
That's a beautiful story.
It just goes to show you that because Aunt Josie is grateful. Oh, and this is what Aunt Josie says. Oh no, wait! Before she says this. She says, "No, that's not the story." Well, tell us what the story is, Aunt Josie. That's what I remember it as. Oh my God, she says. Oh my God, never was I a mean girl. Oh my God, Josie was the biggest mean girl. She thought she was all that in her little skirt, running around.
David.
Flipping her hair. Oh my God, I meant Josie, and you're stupid.
When?
What have we learned?
What?
Can you sum it up for us?
What have we learned?
What are we taking away from this episode?
Should beautiful people do something? Should we do something to beautiful people?
Gratitude.
They need to be more grateful. They need to understand that they should be more grateful, because also the thing too is I've hung out with a lot of really good-looking people, and they say the same thing. They always have the same advice, like, just be yourself. And it's like, no, bitch. Being myself gets people mad. It gets me kicked out of the party. You being yourself gets you invited to the party because people want to fuck the shit out of you. So it's like we need
beautiful people and put a big B on their chest.
No, I want to have a school for them where it's kind of like traffic school, where I teach them
where they can stay overnight, and
where they need to be grateful. And I want to slap Chris Pratt across the face, and I want to shake Halle Berry and be like, "Shut up." And she said, I didn't give all of her quotes, but she said stupid things like, "Beauty has been a barrier in Hollywood because I want people to take my acting seriously instead of always seeing me as a beauty." And I want to just shake her and be like, "You would have nothing. Like, you'd be like the rest of us, having nothing, you stupid cow. Like, go out and go produce a movie where you're acting seriously, you dumbass. Don't wait around for it, you stupid bitch." And I want to shake her in front of the whole class and tell her, "Shut up!" And I kind of want to slap her a little bit.
David.
We were just told that's enough.
Yeah. I know I was, but I'm right.
Let's wrap it up.
Yeah, let's wrap it up by having David say one thing he's grateful for.
Oh, one thing I'm grateful for? Oh, God, I got to tell you, beauty is what I'm grateful for. Just even today, I was standing on my deck, and just the ocean is offering up the most amazing sunsets, and I just look out, and it's just like, oh, there's something it does to your heart. You know what I mean? Like, when you're just there in the sea air and the beauty, and it's just like, oh God, like, I am very grateful for that.
I have a slightly different perspective about sunsets. They're so freaking full of themselves, up there being so beautiful, thinking that they can be the center of all pictures. They need to
totally.
They need to be slapped.
Totally. And they're like, "David, we know we know you're obsessed with us, but just be yourself, and like, good things will come to you." I know. Sunsets are the worst. They're almost as bad as sunrises.
Sunrises can go suck it.
Sunrises can go to hell. They're like
to see one.
So gross. Oh, and I dove in the ocean earlier, and it was all like cool and refreshing, and I was like, okay, like, I get it. Like, you're the ocean. You're like really nice and stuff, whatever.
Well,
right?
Thank everyone for tuning in. All of our friends out there. Hopefully, after this episode,
Unless you're attractive or have warts.
If you have warts, I have a bill in Congress where if you don't remove the warts, especially if they're on your face or neck area, we're going to have you euthanized. We're going to have you put down because you obviously don't have the brains it takes to function in this world. Like, you're making the world a worse place. Honestly, Christian Bale and fucking whoever else has warts on their face.
All right. Well, we'll be back in 2 weeks. I hope you all will join us for our next episode. Check out our Instagram for when we'll release our next episode. And as always, we have our Patreon. If you're not a patron yet, please sign up at patreon.com/unimaginaryfriend.
That sounds nice. And twat us at Twitter because we're still not letting that go. Wait, did you talk about Patreon?
David, were you not listening?
I'm over here producing my ass off.
Okay.
All right. Well, producer, you should end the show for us.
Yeah.
All right, beat it, bitch.